In all of the years that we've been showcasing great golf destinations around the world, we've never done anything quite like what you're about to see, and here's the cool part, it was your votes that helped produce the show. We'll explain coming up.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, celebrating our 20th season of shining the spotlight on the best places to stay, play, and enjoy the greatest game on earth. Stay connected 24/7 to MGL on Facebook, Twitter, our weekly radio show, and podcasts on the all-new 4golfersnetwork.com.
Hello friends, and welcome into the program. I'm Bill Hobson. It's great to have you along with us as we start things out today in our virtual studio before we launch into a most unique road trip. The road trip was shaped by your votes. You see, several months ago, we turned to our social media audience and invited you to nominate the top 10 under $50 golf courses throughout the state of Michigan, because those are such good courses and they deserve some attention. And so what you're about to see is unlike anything we've ever done, because the stories that came from those top 10 courses were so cool, we wanted to let them breathe a little bit. And so instead of trying to put all 10 courses in one show, we're going to do it over the course of a two-part special. Today, we begin part one with the first 5 of those top 10 courses, taking us to the US 23 corridor, where the king himself, Arnold Palmer, did something quite special. This is not the first time our cameras have visited the Coyote Preserve in Fenton, right between Flint and Ann Arbor along US 23. But in the context of the top 10 courses for under $50, you're going to have to look awfully hard to find a better value than this one. My friend Jason Rainey could tell us all about it, man. Such a beautiful property.
Absolutely. Arnold Palmer really had his mind set well here and had a beautiful, beautiful piece of property that he really made spectacular, especially the views.
Jason and I head out on the back nine, really. We could have picked any section of this golf course, but we decided, let's take a look at 12 through 18. So you and I step up to 12, and by the way, on a day so windy that even my hair's blowing, and 12 is that first glimpse that our viewers will get of what a beautiful piece of property this is, with elevation you don't expect.
Correct.
In the southeastern corridor of our state. Yeah,
we're still considered southeastern lower Michigan, but it does feel like you are up north, like you've maybe taken that 3-hour drive. And it's kind of one of our sayings, the up north feel without the drive.
Jason has made probably 2 or 3 dozen aces on camera. He just missed one on 12.
And the putt was even better.
Well, that green is pretty interesting.
You got
to put it in the right spot.
With the right tier and to catch the slope and bring it down, obviously a little easier pin placement today. But
well, it didn't work for me. It clearly worked for you. Move us over to number 13 and describe that.
13, a great, par 4, nice dogleg right, where you can kind of chew off a little bit more if you want to cut the corner a little bit, try to carry the bunker, and then obviously a shorter iron into a pretty large green.
So finding the right part of that green is very key.
Absolutely, yeah. The 3 putts can happen quite a bit there.
It has been a number of years since I've played here 1 through 18. We've hit a few highlight holes. Number 14 was a refresher for me as we stepped up to that tee. That's an interesting one.
Great par 3 that just from aesthetically looking at it, doesn't seem very difficult, but always plays into the wind, but you don't really feel it on the tee. And the pin's never moving, as we saw today. Gale force wind, 30, 40 mile an hour, pretty much in our face. The flag never really moved, but you definitely want to club up.
When we get to number 17, that's actually the hole where you and I think, first met a few years ago.
That is correct.
We were doing a special about the toughest holes in the state of Michigan. And number 17 from the tips is a par 3 of about 235-ish.
235.
All over water.
Yep.
Man.
And today, into the wind, which makes it even more difficult. But what a fun hole. At least there is some bailout to the left for those who don't want to go right at the pin or don't think they have enough club. There is a little bit of bailout and obviously a well-bunkered green to the left as well.
Well, that one has probably decided many a match. And if not, when they get to 18, this is a good decider as well.
Absolutely. And a great par 5 and one that is reachable in 2 for a lot of players. that second shot, if you're going to go for it, better be accurate with the water and all the bunkering to the right. Obviously, could definitely ruin a round or two.
I was here when this golf course first cut the ribbon a bunch of years ago. Different ownership, different mindset. It has become welcoming, it has become busy, and it has become an extremely popular stop, especially for those who are either heading on or returning from maybe a vacation somewhere else in the state.
We get a lot of play heading up to their guys' trip or whatever up in Gaylord or in northern Michigan, and then or catch us on the way back, which is great. So we get a lot of those groups.
For an excellent golf experience you'll find anywhere, not just in Michigan, but I think in the Midwest. It's good stuff, man. Thank you so much.
No, we appreciate it, and glad you're able to make it out here.
Now that, my friends, is a beautiful golf course. Don't go anywhere. We are just getting things rolling in this top 10 under $50 golf course special. When we come back, we head to the Thumb. Welcome back into the program. Bill Hobson here inside the virtual studio as we continue our statewide tour of the top 10 under $50 golf courses that you helped vote for. Up next, we head to a region of our state that doesn't get nearly enough attention for the great golf it offers. Let me introduce you to our friends at Ubly Heights. Back when we turned to you, our audience, for your nominations for the best under $50 courses in the state of Michigan, you brought us to a place that doesn't get nearly enough attention in our state. That is the Thumb area. And we have the privilege right now of introducing you to a beautiful course called Ubly Heights. My first guest is also the golf pro here, Tyler Glaza. Come on in, how are you?
Good, yeah.
I'm doing great. What a beautiful place you have to call home here. Give us the flavor of Ubly Heights. What's it like here?
Oh, it's awesome. Like I said, we got the only course in the Thumb area with the bent grass. As you can see on some of the holes, it's hilly, there's elevated tee boxes and just other difficult shots here. For the most part in the fairways, it's pretty flat and even, but if you kind of get off a little bit left or right, there's some times where it falls above your feet, below your feet, and some difficult greens and tee box elevations going into the green, so it makes it tough out here sometimes.
Well, as we can also tell on some of our wider property shots, there are windmills in the area, which means that wind can frequently play a big role here at Ubly. You and I are playing on a super calm day, which is kind of rare,
Pretty
right?
rare out here, yeah.
How can the wind impact your round here?
It's huge. It's a big impact. There's a lot of times where a lot of guests come up here and even members and just like, oh, we played bad today. Well, why is that? He said, well, the windmills are out there spinning. It's a big factor coming out here.
You have a membership base here, but you also have guests that are coming out and discovering Ubly for the first time. When they finish their round, what are they telling you back inside the pro shop?
Everybody comes in and said, hey, what a beautiful gem. It's a hidden gem up here in the Thumb of Michigan. Never really heard of it. Seen it online or heard about it through some friends, and a lot of people from the Tri-Counties, Detroit, come up here. Even people camping, they can't ask for much better up here in the Thumb.
You've been out here since this course has been out here. What's special about Ubly?
Ubly, in my opinion, is arguably the nicest manicured course in the Thumb of Michigan. It's got 4 sets of tees, and if you're just the kind of golfer that wants to go out and make a few birdies, you can go to the gold. But if you want to go back to the black tees, it plays 7,000 yards, and it's all a guy wants to handle.
So it's got a little something for everybody.
That's right.
The golden fescue, greens that are rolling pure, beautiful fairways. That doesn't happen by accident. So Brad Hunt, you've been here since, I believe, like day 2, if not day 1.
Yes.
How have you seen this course grow over the years?
Well, the fescue, we planned our areas where we were going to put them, and we've been fixing things up all along. Bunkers have been the big project, and working on other things. Bunkers were the biggest thing.
Bunkers are beautiful here. They play perfectly. Every lie is good. And none of that happens by accident. We know that. You work awfully hard at it. So when you hear first-time guests finish a round and you get to pick up on some of the comments, what makes you, I don't know, the proudest of this Ubly Heights experience?
Well, they look us up sometimes, whether it's one of my co-workers, they say, hey, this place is great. So
as we talk about value and courses under $50, I would have to think you've been to enough other places to realize what a great deal that is here at Ubly.
yes, it's a very good price. And when we travel, my wife and I, usually to play something like this, it is much more.
You as you've seen kind of your baby mature over the years. How
Yeah.
different is it as we sit here today from when what it was in '96?
Well, everything's filled in nice. We have added some trees in areas. Everybody wanted trees, but I wanted to keep them back a little bit in some areas and do the fescue, and that's been a little bit of a battle, but people like the fact that it plays fairly wide open, can usually find your ball, and yet it's challenging.
Ubly truly is a beautiful place, as is our next destination, because we now head from the Thumb to northern Michigan to introduce you to a wonderful combination of golf, food, and a whole lot of fun. It was in 2016 when longtime PGA professional Brad Dean thought, I'm going to put my name on my own golf course. And that golf course is the next stop on our tour of the state's top 10 courses for under $50. And the man himself, Brad Dean, is here.
Bill, how are you? Good
I'm
to see
good.
you.
Does it seem like that long ago, or does it seem like yesterday that you became a golf course owner?
It seems like yesterday, actually. It's, wow, I mean, time has gone so fast, and I am loving absolutely every minute of it.
You came here to Interlochen and you invested a lot in
We did.
restoring the golf course to outstanding conditions and then doing some unique things up at that clubhouse. So walk us through
Right.
what it's like now, because it's a different world than it was even 5 years ago at Interlochen.
Yeah, totally different. It's, you know, it was kind of a sleepy course before. Very, very busy in its heyday. But, you know, the current owner had been here for 30 years and, you know, great guy, but he just got tired and he asked me one day, Brad, do you know of anybody that might want to take this over from you? And I thought, did some ciphering and I figured out, you know, maybe I can make this work. So made it happen in about a year and a half, and then put the plans together, and I just saw a diamond in the rough when I came out here. I had never played the course before, and up until a year prior to buying it. And so I saw that it wasn't going to take a lot to really get the golf course back in shape.
Some fine tuning.
Just some fine tuning, you know, with a good superintendent, we could do it. But it was the clubhouse restaurant that was going to be the big nut to take on.
Yeah.
In which we hired a great architect and a engineer, and we had a great team. And within 6 months of closing on the deal, we were open in the restaurant.
I want to talk about the restaurant in a moment. Let's go to the golf course here. How do you describe Interlochen to those who haven't been here?
You know, you look at the yardage on the scorecard. For white tees, it's 5,900 or so, and you're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a cakewalk. It's not. It's narrow in spots. The greens are all these, you know, the old style push-up traditional greens. So you've got to hit some really good irons and be in the right spots.
We're not going to go hole by hole through the whole property, but I have to ask you about one particular hole.
Sure.
The 14th.
Right.
You know, you see dog legs. Sometimes they're gentle, sometimes they're 90 degrees. Rarely do you see them that are like 110 degrees and a beast of a par 4. And looking at that one from above, it's pretty intimidating.
It is, and when I first came here, you know, there was a lot of overgrowth down there, and it was really hard to see with all the scrub bushes and trees, and so we did a lot of clearing, and you know, so you could see into the fairway. So now, you know, you're able to actually hit a shot, see the ball land in the fairway, or depending how far you can hit it, you can line up and take it over all the trees and get it, you know, within 30, 20 yards of the green.
Let's talk a little bit about the combination of a great golf course and a great restaurant. Your name is on it. It's called Bradley's for a reason. I know you wanted your signature on that restaurant.
No, I lost the bet.
You lost the bet.
I lost the bet.
And it's become one of the most popular restaurants in all of northern Michigan. What's special about Bradley's?
There's a couple of things, and you know, first off is the menu, and it's absolutely amazing. The food. This is not a golf course restaurant. I wanted Bradley's to stand on its own as a restaurant. One
of my favorite things is to see friends that I've known for a couple of decades in the golf industry do well, and it's fun to see you doing well here at Interlochen. So, and to offer all this at such a value like you do,
right,
is really it's really a feather in your cap.
Thank you. Well, we want to keep it affordable, because golf's not cheap, and we want to get them a great experience, whether it's on the golf course, in the restaurant, at a good price. That's our goal.
Interlochen Golf Club, Bradley's Restaurant, the whole combination. It's pretty hard to beat, especially at the value we're featuring in the program today. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks, Bill. Good seeing you.
When we return, we'll close out part one of this two-part special, heading over to Michigan's beautiful west side as we introduce you to a pair of courses with really cool storylines behind them. So stick around. Welcome back into our top 10 under $50 golf course special that you helped shape. Up next on Michigan's west side, we introduce you to a course with a very rich family tradition story behind it. There is such a cool family lineage connection woven right through the heart of our next featured course in this top 10 under 50 special as we come to Pigeon Creek over in West Olive. Let me welcome in PGA Pro and co-owner Chase Kyers. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Thanks for coming out.
This is my first time seeing this beautiful course, and it really is out here in agricultural country. You've carved, your dad has carved a beautiful golf course. So take us through the family connection part of this.
So it's actually a third generation owned property. Myself and my cousin just bought our dad's out about 5 years ago now. He's actually the groundskeeper, and as you know, he does a phenomenal job, and then I'm the director of golf here. So went to Ferris's great program, traveled the country, and came back to buy my family out. So it's been quite a journey.
Not all that long ago, we would have been standing in the middle of a cornfield.
Correct.
So that's
correct.
that's what's become a golf course.
Correct. Yeah. So in the late '90s, the family was struggling with the dairy farm. Decided to go venture towards golf. Being dairy farmers, they weren't good at really growing that part of it, but they knew how to be family friendly, make a great product, and here we are. So.
Well, it's one thing to have that family connection, but if the golf course isn't really good, then nobody's going to come. You're busy, which means this is a good golf course. Can you kind of take us through what Pigeon Creek feels like and plays like?
It's, in my mind, it plays a lot longer than it is. Like you get here, it seems like it's a super easy course, and then all of a sudden you come out and you're like, wow, this is quite the track. So a lot of people come here with low expectations. They leave just absolutely very happy, very pleased, and they come back always. It's great.
And they probably leave here with fewer golf balls than they started, which is maybe surprising to some.
Correct, yeah. So they come out here thinking they're just going to dominate this course. A lot of guys will go to the blue tees, and I'm like, hey guys, unless you break 80, you're going to want to maybe move forward because it gets a little bit tough back there with this breeze out here.
Well, I was going to say, one of the defenses of this golf course, we're very close to Lake Michigan, and there is a constant breeze, which is in that 2 to 3 clubs today, at least for us.
Absolutely, yeah. The prevailing winds being only probably about 7 to 10 miles away from the lake shore, it's always windy out here. So.
Well, let's walk through some of the key holes. We played right out of the gate. Number 1 gives you a quick wake-up call.
Absolutely, you need to hit the center of the fairway on 1. There's water left right off the bat and OB right, so just looking down that center of the fairway is a good start.
Okay, there's a bit of a competition here at Pigeon Creek for which hole gets to be known as the signature hole. I think that race is really being contested between number 6 and number 8. So as we show our audience both of those holes, why don't you walk us tee to green through both of those?
6 is definitely a harder dogleg left, but the people love it. It just sits back in the corner there. It's just so peaceful and quiet in that back corner. And then you got 8, which is usually people reload on that hole, you could say. If they don't make it on the first one, they're going to always try on the second one. That one's only about 260, 270 to carry, but 6 is always into the wind, and it plays at least 280. So.
Well, then we flip around, and after number 7, we of course go to number 8, which today was downwind for us. I still can't hit a ball that carries 300 yards, even if there's a hurricane behind me. But Mr. Pro here drives the green, has a nice eagle putt set up. Take me to the closing hole.
I love the 18th hole. Really, I think it's just a great way to finish up the round. You kind of got your water along the right, kind of keeps you to the left side, and just a nice little par 4 coming back in. I mean, it's still pretty long. I think it plays like 350 plus, but it's just a beautiful finishing hole.
Well, thank you for sharing some of the family lineage with us here. This is an awesome place.
Pleasure.
Glad we could visit.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Our final stop today keeps us on Michigan's west side as we introduce you to a golf course that, if it weren't for the passion and investment of one man who grew up in the area, the golf course very well might not be there today. You'll love this story and the team at Oceana Golf Club. When you lay eyes on the next course we're featuring in this top 10 under 50 special, you're not going to believe that not only is it under $50, it's actually under $40. We have come to roughly 30 minutes away from Muskegon to the beautiful Oceana Golf Club, where Mark Inglis, come on in here, has been a fixture for 30 years. And in the recent few years, a fresh infusion of life has overtaken this place, and it is spectacular.
Absolutely. Like I said, I've been here 30 years as a golf professional, but I grew up here on this golf course too. Okay. Playing here in high school, learning how to play the game, and as a second golf professional here, it was my dream to make sure that this place survived. So I did all I could do, and it got to the point to where we needed some help. And we found a young man that went to Shelby High School, and he came back and he infused us with some hope and some dreams and some desires and equipment and people and most of all money. Well, Mark, and a lot of hope.
And as we demonstrate the beauty of this place to our viewers, I'm going to tell you right now that there's no way on earth this course should be priced as affordably as it is. It is in perfect condition. It's a great design. It is super fun to play. And if you don't bring your putter in the right frame of mind, you're going to have a long afternoon here.
Exactly. We like to boast the fact that we have some of the best greens in the area. Not only the condition of them, but the uniqueness and how much fun they are to play. You know, that's what brings people back. If you don't have the local knowledge, you've got to come back to gain it.
So here we are. From the tips, we're looking at roughly 63-ish hundred yards. 63. There are some golfers in our audience who think, I would tear that course up. And you've You've heard that before.
Oh, yeah.
What do you see on the other end of their round after they say that?
Like I said, they're shaking their head going, I can't believe I just shot 78 or par 73 here, so they're going to shoot maybe 80, and they're used to thinking they're going to shoot 69 or something because of the length. And put your short game to the test. That's what we have as our tagline on our scorecard and some of our advertising points, marketing, because you do put your short game to the test. Your wedge and your putter are coming out of the bag often, and you need to know how to use them. The driver, you can play the whole front nine without a driver and still have a lot of wedges and putts to make up for it.
I can't speak highly enough of the conditions. I know that takes a lot of hard work, a lot of teamwork, but as you offer this little gem to golfers throughout the region, throughout the state, throughout the tri-state area, really, because you're over here on the west side, you probably get some Chicago traffic and some Indiana traffic. Yeah. What are first-timers here saying to you when they come into the pro shop afterwards, probably to book another round because they want to play it again?
I can't believe I've never been here. I didn't know it was here. We've been here 60 years. It used to be it's off the beaten path now, so they would have a lakeshore residence or a condo, or they come up for vacation, and they didn't know we were here. So they said, I can't believe I haven't played this place before. So then once they get the experience, they're like, I've got to come back. And they do. And we now offer online booking, so we're seeing a lot of online booking from out of state. People are coming up for the 4th of July, for example, and they're booking months in advance, or weeks in advance anyway.
You and I are talking in the peak season in summertime.
Yes.
And when I tell everybody your peak rate is
$35.
It's just absolutely ridiculous.
With cart.
If I have my way, it'll fluctuate up a little bit. Not that I have any vested interest, but that's how good this course is. If you get more and more people out here, it will no longer be a hidden gem, that's for sure.
Right. We get the Chicago people, the Detroit people, and we welcome them with open arms, and they say, oh, we tell them it's $35. They say, well, I'd like a cart with that. You know, you get that. You get one half. Your partner has to ride in the other half.
Yeah, right. So your favorite stretch of holes out here would be what?
I call it Amen Corner. It would be 15, 16, 17. It's because the back nine is a little bit longer than the front nine, but we've got 3 par 5s, so 10. Then you come around and you play 13, 14, where you can usually score pretty well, make some birdies to get back with anything you've lost. And then 15 is a tough par 4 uphill. 16, which we played today, you saw the driving accuracy in the fairway. It's the toughest driving hole we have out here to hit the fairway. And then 17 is a tough par 3. So if you can gain strokes previously, don't lose them on that last home stretch.
Coming home.
And then make a birdie on 18 where you can finish on the risk-reward hole of the driver wedge or iron wedge, whatever you want to hit. And the ending is my favorite.
One of the things that I loved about this visit, not only was the course itself, but just meeting your team. Super friendly, super welcoming. And no matter if you're going to set up shop and live on the west side of the state, or if you're just passing through and you want to play at Oceana, Mark and his team are ready to see you. Thank you for a great time.
Yeah, we love the public course with a private club atmosphere. That's our goal. You know, treat you like it's a private facility, playing a public golf course for $35 on Saturday and Sunday.
Unheard of. We have now reached the halfway point of our top 10 tour, but we have reached the 100% out of time point for this edition of the show. So join us again next time as we introduce you to the remaining 5 in a program that you helped put together. We'll see you next week for the rest of the top 10 under $50 golf courses in Michigan.